And we have a hard, we should be out of this room in about 20 minutes from now. So
all right.
that's kind of, so we're going to start packing things up at 10:10.
Okay.
So.
You want me to turn that on? Want me
So is it saying record?
Yep, it's saying record.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is the first run through for the tea time talk of September 5th. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kim Solez. I'm a professor of pathology in the Faculty of Medicine, and I teach a course on technology and the future of medicine that has a lot of AI content.
I'm Ishita Moghe. I'm currently doing a fellowship with Dr. Solez in renal pathology, and we have a special interest in AI and the future of medicine.
So what we're going to talk about is this idea of non-fictional models of the world for training sentient AI. When AI is smarter than we are, it'll need some model of the world. And how that then relates to the idea of truthful promotion of pathology. Because as we get closer and closer to using AI in pathology, the promotional material in our field has increased in kind of amazing ways. First of all, just talking about AI in medicine, you're probably aware of the rather spectacular negative results recently from IBM Watson in oncology human cancer trials, where the use of IBM Watson has seemed to bring people down the wrong path and suggested therapies that really wouldn't work and would be dangerous for the patient. So sort of exactly the opposite of what one would have predicted. So that's something that occurred in mid-2018. And your world of computing science and our world of pathology formally came together in the spring of 2017 with FDA approval of digital pathology for primary diagnosis. Obviously, going digital is necessary before you use AI. If you don't have any digital data, it's sort of hard to apply artificial intelligence. So the two are linked. And it had been anticipated since late 2014 that the FDA would approve this. And so I think that influences a lot of things we're going to talk about how the promotion of the field has improved. And in 2018, in June of 2018, there was the first ever Digital Pathology and Artificial Intelligence Congress in New York City, which I attended, and we had posters there, Ishita and I. And one of the interesting things was, one of the keynote speakers was Yukako Yagi, who actually about 27 years ago I recruited here to the University of Alberta, a joint position with the University of Pittsburgh, and she's now a real superstar in this area. But it shows that this is an area that I've had an interest in for a long time. But in the past 4 years, almost overnight, pathology went from having the worst promotional material of any specialty to having the best promotional material. We became like the Hollywood of medicine. And it really doesn't make much sense. I mean, the blood and guts that we used to show before that were off-putting, what happened to them? You know, so now they seem to be gone. There are magazines now promoting pathology where every visual is appealing to a general audience and intriguing, and the colors are great and the writing is great, and so every page is visually appealing, seductive, and there are comparable videos to that too. And every effort is made to be reassuring reassuring and comforting.
So, despite the fact that the pathologist is very readable and appealing, unfortunately, a lot of the articles are written by corporate authors or corporate funded. So, some examples of overly reassuring quotes are, AI pathology is never going to replace pathologists. Nobody should feel threatened by advances in computational pathology. And the collective wisdom generated over many years as a community cannot be replaced by a machine. So, as you can see, a lot of these quotes are not backed up by any kind of empirical evidence, but they're just making these wide assumptions to kind of make physicians feel better and less threatened by technology.
It is true that digital pathology is superior in sort of every way to traditional glass slide microscope pathology. There's a forest and trees problem there of kind of getting lost in one particular magnification that doesn't exist when you go digital, and you don't have the same vulnerability of breaking slides, losing slides. You can make as many copies as you want. So there are many, many advantages. But the uptake amongst ordinary pathologists has not been very rapid, and there's tremendous resistance in the field still to digital pathology.
So a lot of these speakers are aware of the fears that pathologists have of digital pathology ruining the culture or in some way taking away from their autonomy. So they tend to make these claims that they won't be able to, that digital pathology won't kind of overtake their abilities or replace physicians. So again, we see examples here about how physicians will always remain at the forefront and center of decision making and of pathology, even when AI is involved in it.
So this idea of the pathologist remaining in the very center of clinical care, that's appealing to most pathologists. But is it true? They'll remain central only as long as they add value to the process. When AI can get the answer without a flesh and blood pathologist there, then they won't remain so central. And about being replaced, I think what Berlin Mesco says in his book is correct. AI will not replace physicians, but physicians using AI will replace physicians not using AI. So there will be job loss, particularly amongst the kind of Luddites who dig in their heels and say, I'm not doing this AI stuff. They will find it hard to remain employed. Now we've encountered many, what seem to us, erroneous statements of sort of basic AI facts that are being disseminated in these comforting messages that are part of the sales pitch for digital pathology. And we would like to confirm with you that these are inaccurate ideas, since you are the experts. And we'll start with this Berlin Metzger article, 5 reasons why artificial intelligence won't replace physicians. Number 1, AI cannot be empathetic. Number 2, AI cannot do nonlinear thinking. Can't do leaps of faith, can't do lateral thinking. Machines cannot interpret data. They can only sort of bring it up, or they can't really think about data or anything approaching that. There'll always be tasks like the Heimlich maneuver. If one of you were to start choking right now, it could never be a robot that could specifically go over there and save you. And human-machine cooperation is the ultimate solution. You can't conceive of a robot or a sentient machine that would actually be superior to the combination of a human physician and a machine. As far as we know, there's no support for any of the 5 of these, and I'm interested in what you think. Now, I direct a course on technology and the future of medicine, which considers many of these issues. Ishita took the course in fall of 2017. Dr. Sutton, Zayan, Polarski, and Schaefer teach the course, and Bertlin Mesko in Budapest teaches a similar course, but he's a professional keynote speaker, not a full-time academic, so his orientation is different. And interestingly, the government of Finland also has a course on AI, which they'd like every Finnish citizen to take, and it has its own sort of built-in special government biases or fictions, and one of which seemed quite shocking to us, and that is the idea that self-improving AI needs human help. That to go to every incremental step of getting better, self-improving AI has to do a kind of mother may I thing, you know. I wish to go to the next step. Is that okay with you humans or not? I don't know of a computing scientist anywhere in the world who believes that. That's the opposite of what self-improving AI means. But you can understand from the Finnish government point of view, it's a good thing to tell their citizens and to tell them, don't worry about a thing, you know. Leave it to the government. This whole thing about the relationship between sentient machines and humans, we've got that covered. You don't need to worry about it. And so any of you can take this course, and you don't need to take it in sequence. You can kind of selectively take it. And in the end, I think Finland may be providing a model for many other nation states that will decide we want our own AI course and insert our own biases into it and so on. Well, does any of this matter? Is it consequential or is it just irritating? If you think that when machines are smarter than we are, they will have control over human destiny, they'll have decisions to make about us, not necessarily life and death, but should they make provision for us being comfortable in the world, or shouldn't they? Should they just sort of ignore us, which would be bad, right? And you would imagine they'd be particularly sensitive to lies about themselves, lies that we tell about artificial intelligence. I think they would recognize those untruths, and it could give them a strong incentive to think that the world would be better off without us. And these fictional worlds, as extension of sort of marketing messages of corporations and governments, already exist in 2018, will increase in number and influence. And it seems to me that seems to us that there's a lot at risk here. Of course, sentient machines don't need humans to provide them with a model of the world. They can make their own model of the world. But I think human beings naturally want to get a word in edgewise to make sure that that model sort of turns out right. And so that's another reason for this. You want to speak to?
Sorry, you can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So this is sort of an interesting observation of what happened with Google Translate. That when they combined it with the neural networking developed by Google Brain, it started having greatly improved capabilities, but it created its own model of the world, kind of mesh of meaning and which words were close to other words and that sort of thing. Very different from anything that a human being would do, a mesh that only a computer could comprehend. So one would imagine that one of the incentives for corporations and nation states to try to feed a fictional world to sentient AI is that probably the natural world that it creates itself for itself, which may work very well, is kind of hidden from most ordinary humans. You can't really interpret how that works. So That's our question to you then. What do you, as computer scientists, think of these messages that are being widely promoted and that seem linked to the gleaming new promotional material for my field of pathology and laboratory medicine? And is survival of the human race at stake here, or are we just playing with your mind, suggesting? So anyway, we look forward to your questions now, and we have also organized that we would get together to eat at 5:30 at Leva Restaurant. You can interrogate us more. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So how is that time-wise?
Time-wise, you guys are sitting at 15 minutes right now.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Still, like 5 minutes is quite a bit. You want me to?
Yeah.